This is good. Let's find a nice spot. What a great start! I have been recording for about 10 minutes and now I have found out that I wasn't recording at all. So let's take it from the top. Today's video is going to be about my ADHD, and no, it's not going to be just a personal experience. This is supposed to help you, and I don't want to say cope with ADHD, because I don't think that there is anything to cope with. It is about learning how to efficiently use it. Now, many people say that it is a disorder, and that's the bottom line. It's like absolutely a disorder. Really, etymologically speaking, disorder is something that disrupts the order, and there is no order other than the order that we ourselves manufacture. Now, that does not mean that there are not absolutely bad experiences of people with ADHD, myself included. I was severely depressed. I had no motivation. It seemed like I have no sense of direction in life. I didn't know what I wanted to do. It was just, I couldn't motivate myself to get out of bed sometimes. And now this is when you start to think, like, is it depression? Is it ADHD? Is it like... Okay, so this is clearly a conspiracy to keep this information away from the hands of the public, because I just ran out of space and I had to delete some old videos. Anyway, let's get back to the topic. Now, what was I talking about? Yeah, so there is nothing absolutely disordered about ADHD. Now, what is absolutely disordered is the experience of the people that are suffering. When they have depression, when they can't motivate themselves to do anything, when they have no direction in life. Now, there is no medication to fix that, unfortunately. And that is why, when you search any kind of reviews, you will always find that it either doesn't work at all, or it works, it maybe even works amazingly. And it starts to work less and less, and then after a while, I have been getting a lot of comments asking me about, well, basically the format is this: will this drug help me do things I don't want to do? How much is this drug capable of forcing me to do the things that I don't want to do? I really want to do the things that I don't want to do. Can this drug help me? This was my kind of question as well. And then I realized that this is a terrible question to even ask. Why do I want to do that? Why do I want to force myself into things that I don't want to do in the first place? What is it based on? Now, if you ask yourself what is it based on, you will probably find out that either you want it, and then, well, yeah, you want it, just do it. Or you think that you must. You have to force yourself to have a job because you need to make money. But you see, there will always be this because. You don't have to force yourself to do something that you don't want to do to make money. You can make it in a different way. And there is a way for you, yes, you, to make money without hating it. Because these because are a bane of so many people. We just know it. We know it has to be done. We know we must, because otherwise terrible things would happen. But we don't really think about it because society encourages that, right? That's why the people that make it, that are entrepreneurs, that are famous actors, they seem a little bit off, like they don't belong, because they don't. Because if you have ADHD, you do not belong in society like this. You are creative. You might be an entrepreneur. You might be a painter, a musician, a stylist, a designer, a journalist, someone who craves doing things, who wants to be in the happenings of the world. Because once you apply yourself into something that really respects who you are, and you start to like it, you are not suddenly the people that told you that you are insane and that you should stop doing these crazy things. They suddenly will turn in and say, "Oh, how did you do it? That is so amazing. I could have never done that." Because that is how it works. That is simply how it works. People want you to be like them, and if you are not, they will not like you, and when you get what you wanted that they couldn't see, well, they will suddenly be like, I want that too, because you already proved that it is possible. Now you might say, well, Peter, you obviously didn't have a severe ADHD, you didn't have severe depression. I don't want to do anything. Nothing fills me with joy, like literally nothing. I know what you mean. I've been there. But you know, the thing is, you expect this to be one of the symptoms, like just one of the underlying automatic symptoms of who you are, but that's not true. This is actually the result of the months or even years of pushing yourself into the direction that you never wanted to go in the first place. Nothing happens in a vacuum. The fact that you were taking medications, the fact that you told everyone that you are somehow disordered, the fact that you thought for such a long time, you had these negative self-talks, talking down to yourself, telling yourself that you are horrible, those are all the real culprits of why you don't want to do anything anymore. But in your true nature, this is not the case. It's not like you have never wanted to do anything. This is just the result of pushing yourself the wrong way. Your body just tells you, okay, that's it, that's done. You won't push yourself anymore. You're just, we'll just wait and figure out what to do next. And that's called depression. And I've been there, and I've been there severely. And it's nothing that I would wish on you, but it can help open your eyes a little bit. So if you get depressed, don't worry, it's going to pass. Actually give it way. Realize that it's not you. You are not a depressive person. Everyone is a depressive person, because everyone is a possibly feverish person. Everyone is a possibly, person with a swollen nose. It's just a reaction of your body and your mind. It is really the resistance to depression that prolongs it. Just understand that you can be happy. This simple realization that you can be happy is going to cut a lot of time off of your depression, because really depression only lives on the realization or the belief that you will never be happy. That is what basically propagates it forever. So once you realize that this is just basically an immune reaction of your mind, well, then half of your path is complete. And once you learn what you need to learn about where not to go anymore, and maybe you will choose a better, more exciting, or more fun, or more enjoyable, or just less torturous path through life, you will set a direction and a vision. The depression will just say, okay, I'm happy with that, I will yield now to you, and you go. But what happens so often is that people say, oh, I've cured my depression, now I can forget about my stupid dreams and go back to work. And suddenly it starts to come back. And they're like, I don't understand it, why not? Well, because you've made a negotiation with your subconscious and you've just broke your end of the bargain. Don't do that. So if you have still a lot of doubt, work on that. Because that is what is causing all of those other symptoms. At your core, sure, you are impulsive, you are hyperactive, your energy might be a bit too high at some points to be understood by people. Sometimes you might get so high that you need to, get a little bit depressed again. Maybe for a couple of hours, maybe for a day, so that you don't just burn your mind to a crisp because you're just going so fast all the time. But that's okay. It's going to pass. And yeah, some people will tell you that you're too intense. That's who you are. You can try to control your intensity, but realize that you are doing this for other people, not because you are flawed. You are doing this as you would be doing anything else, as you would be learning to dance, as you would be learning to drive. You are learning to be less impulsive. That's okay. If you are still being unsure, you have ADHD, you are being depressed, don't be so hard on yourself. Come on. There is no reason to be depressed in this world, especially when you are this creative, this intelligent. You can accomplish great things. So do it for yourself and do it for the world. I believe in you. And sure, if you want coaching, you can, there's going to be a link in the description. I will be very happy to work with you one-on-one as well. So, until next time, this has been Pete. Bye-bye.